Hello and welcome to another adventure here on my channel, and welcome to day 10 of 10 days of tutorials, where I have posted a new eyeshadow tutorial every single day for 10 days in a row. Even though this is the last one in the series, make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell so be notified of all my usual content, which goes up on Tuesdays and Fridays. Now, I thought a really fun way to finish off this series would be to do an eyeshadow tutorial using my very first eyeshadow palette, the Naked 2. This is what got me into makeup, and I thought, you know what? When I first got into makeup and first was learning eyeshadow, my best friend taught me a super simple, easy to do look that takes 4 shadows in total. You can do it in 5 minutes. It's a complete, easy beginner look that really just looks good with just about everything because it's a pretty neutral look considering the palette used to do it. But I thought it would be a really fun way to finish off this series, not only with my very first eyeshadow palette, but with the very first look I learned how to do, a tutorial for absolute beginners. So let's zoom on in and get started. Alright, so I am just going to be using the double-ended brush that comes with the Naked palette because I figure, hey, if you're an absolute beginner and have this palette, this might be the only brush you have. It was for me for a long time. So I do already have my eyelids primed with the concealer I used and my face setting powder. If you are a beginner, I highly recommend doing this. It just makes your eyeshadow look better and stay longer on your eyes. And if you are doing this look with this palette, this really is the only brush you need. First, I'm going to take the fluffier end of the brush and go into this matte shade Tease. And we are just going to take that and put it into the crease. And now I'm holding the brush out here because I don't want to put too much pressure. I want a light hand because that tends to give a nicer blend, even though it takes a little bit longer to do the blending. All right, now on the flat side of the brush, I'm gonna go into one of my favorite shades in the palette, Snake Bite. And now we're just gonna take that and put it all over the lid. And now I'm not going to add any more pigment to the fluffy side of the brush. I'm just going to take it and blend Snake Bite into Tease just a little bit, just by these side swiping windshield wiper motions, just to make sure there's no harsh line between the two shades. But you don't want to do this too much, otherwise you will blend Snake Bite away. All right, now this next step you can totally skip and still get a really gorgeous look. I just personally like to do this. I think it adds something to it, but I also know waterlining is really scary at first and it took me months to do it. But I am gonna recommend that when you want to try waterlining, try the Rimmel Scandal Eyes pencil. It is the best pencil I've ever found. It's like $6. So it's not going to break the bank, and it's really, really high quality. All right, now I'm going to take the flat side of the brush again and go into the shade right next to Snake Bite, Suspect. But instead of wiping it flat, I'm going to kind of go on an angle here because I'm just going to run that along the lower lash line. And you want to kind of connect it up to the top. You don't want to create like a harsh wing, but you just don't want there to be a gap between the upper and lower shadow. All right, and now something I always liked to do when I was first getting into makeup. I don't know why, I just thought it was cute. I would take whatever shade I used on the lower lash line, so I would do this look with Snake Bite and Suspect as a pair, with Pistol and Verve as a pair, with Busted and YDK as a pair. I kind of had little duos in here I do this look with. I would always take the lower lash line shadow on the fluffy brush, tap it off so I just have a little bit, and just run it over my brows. And then I'm going to take the flat side of the brush and wipe it off on a paper towel, a piece of toilet paper, my wrist, whatever you want to use. And then take it and go into the shade Booty Call, again at an angle. And I would just use that for the inner corner. Now, a lot of people also like to take the same shade they put on their inner corner, right under their brow bone. It's a preference because I put some shimmer in my brows themselves. I don't want to do that. However, I still like bringing some brightness to the inner corner because this is kind of a darker look. And then what I'll usually do is make sure I'm happy with how the edges look by just taking the fluffy side of the brush, not adding anything to it, and just going over the edges again, just to make sure they're nice and soft. However, if you find there's a particular edge that doesn't want to blend, that doesn't want to lighten up how you want it to, it's just a little too dark, you can always take the shade Foxy on the fluffy brush to help you blend it out, because it will go over that darker shade and help lighten it and just give you a better, smoother blend. You don't always have to do this. I know some people like to. Personally, I just use it when an edge is being particularly stubborn. I have a new lighting rig that I'm trying out and I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. All right, I'm gonna throw on some mascara and be right back. And here is the finished eye look. You know what? 2 years later, it's still pretty dang cute. Now, for the lips, I am going to go with something drugstore. I'm going to go with the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink in the shade Loyalist, because I personally just think such a heavy eye look needs something bright and more nude on the lips in order to balance it out, you know? And I do absolutely recommend this formula. They are my favorite liquid lipsticks. I love them. And that is the finished face. I hope you found this helpful. If you recreate this look, make sure to tag me. My Instagram is SarahJo_makeup. I have had so much fun doing this series. I totally want to do another one in the future. It'll probably be a while though, because this was a lot of work, but it was definitely a lot of fun. Let me know down in the comments if you would like to see another 10 days of tutorials sometime, and I will see you all next time.